the campground in RAs was our first destination in Namibia. Not because of the beautiful bee eaters here in the tree, but it is the entry point for the Fish River Canyon, just a short drive from here on a good gravel road. The Fish River Canyon is up to 550 meter deep and 160 km long. It is the second largest canyon in the world after the Grand Canyon in the US. From May to August you can hike 85 km through the canyon in 3 to 5 days. We continued our trip to the Quiver Tree Forest in Kietmanshoop, 200 km further north. In the early morning after sunrise, also the rock daisy is waking up and preparing for the day. Small birds are singing, and Janis is doing the same as he is going to our camping place. The enclosed cheetah with me inside looks a bit skeptical, but when he got his food, nothing can disturb him. Another cheetah has two small ones, just a few weeks old. Saying goodbye to them, we saw these ostrich as we drove through the Namib Nagrove Park. Ostrich are common on our way to Soetjesvlei, located in the southern part of the Namib Desert. Very popular is Dune 45, the first big dune seen at kilometer 45. Climbing up this 80-meter high dune is nearly a must. The soft wet sand is very pleasant on the feet. After 20 minutes we reached the top of the dune and had been rewarded with a nice view. The low sunlight gave a special atmosphere. To go down, there's either the direct way with lots of fun, or you take the same long way back you came. At the end, after around 72 kilometers, we reached Death Fly. This clay pan appeared a bit mystical in the unusual seldom early morning fog. The pan is punctuated by blackened dead acacia trees, giving a particular fascinating and surrealistic landscape. Walking around in the pan is nice. Janis too enjoyed it. But seeing the pan from above by climbing one of the highest dunes is another worth exercise. On the way you can find small lizards which either hide in the sand or also climb up. For the over 200 meters we took less than an hour, enjoying the great scenery. Being on the top, the straight way down was another fun experience. It is not only the view, but the sound the sand makes if you jump in and keep the sand moving. Coming back to the Death Fly, the shiny white salty floor of the pan gives a strong contrast to the intense orange of the dunes. Reaching back where the trees are, Heidi enjoys the last encounter before we continue. We said goodbye to the ostrich and the springbok before they jumped away. We too took a jump to the craters of the moon. This stony area is just behind Walvis Bay and looks a bit unreal. It is mainly popular for the big welwitschia, which can be over 1500 years old. It is the age that makes this plant special, which is considered a living fossil. Behind the dunes of Walvis Bay, we saw one of the few trains passing through the desert area. On the other side is the coast, which is a good place for kite surfers. It is also the home for many birds, like these peared owlets looking for food with their long lips. We came to find the flamingos living in this area. Often they stay for a long time on just one leg. If you want to see them flying away, you have to wait for a while. They need a few steps before they can take off. They weigh in average around 3 kilograms, having a wingspan for around 1.5 meters. Flamingos don't live alone, they are found in colonies. Leaving the flamingos behind, we headed further north to Skeleton Coast, where different shipwrecks can be found due to the dense ocean fog which can occur here. The seals of Cape Cross, 120 kilometers north of Swakopmund, were our next stop. With up to 200,000, it is the largest breeding seal colony in the world. They not only make a lot of noise, they are also very smelly, that you can get a stench in your nose some will never forget. This old oil rig was the home for this jackal, who lived here with his young one. Hard to imagine how they can survive in this remote area. Coming to the Palmbark region, we saw this much smaller mountain elephant. Many animals live here outside the park, like the onyx antelope or these young giraffes. Not only wild animals like the giraffe crossed our way, also simple sheep. Ordinary life can be observed right beside the road or in a nearby living museum. This village is only inhabited among the day. Soon, Janis found a new mom, and seemingly he felt well. Here they show you how the tribe of the Sand people lived in former times. You can see what kind of tools they used and how they made them. Janis enjoyed a little rest before we came to the dancing part. We could participate in this mixture of traditional dance and show. The stone trees of the petrified forest had been uprooted very long ago, although wood takes less than 100 years to petrify through the process of permineralization. This lizard is not so old, but his coloring is well adapted to the design of this rock. The yellow-bill hornbill meets us on our way to the next historic place, Travelfontein. Many other birds shared a table with us before we went to the wonderful rocky outcrop with thousands of Bushman engravings. They are all between 2 and 2,500 years old. The Sun people used the engravings for teaching their children. Even more common are the rock paintings from the same time period, also done by the Sun tribe. Famous is the White Lady Bushman painting in the Brandberg region. Leaving this area, we are going to see real zebras in Etosha National Park. The park covers around 20,000 square kilometers and is one of the safari highlights in Africa. Onyx antelope is seen quite often, as well as wildebeest. The wildebeest is also called gnu and belongs to the antelopes. They group together with zebras in open savanna environments. If it is hot, they seek the shadow as well as the springbok do. Having a winged vest, that would be nice, but the elephant shoos everyone away. Elephants don't share and claim a large territory for themselves. That's why you find elephants at waterholes, mainly by themselves. The elephant is the largest living land animal on Earth today. Healthy adult elephants have no natural predators. They typically live for 50 to 70 years and eat up huge amounts of bushes. If you are on the road, you must be alert that they don't come too close to your car. If they are not eating, you mainly find them on their way to the waterholes. In the park, the salt pane desert is roughly 130 kilometers long and as wide as 50 kilometers in places. After they enjoy themselves, the whole group, often between 30 to 40 animals big, is leaving. At another waterhole, we again found a large group. Going into the water seems to be a lot of fun now. Swinging the feet in the water and splashing water over the head is the right time to do now. Elephants can play undisturbed. Steering up the muddy water with their feet and then spraying it on their body is not just for playing or cooling them down. The mud acts as a sun cream and insect barrier to protect their sensitive skin. The small learn from the bigger ones. By the way, an elephant calf typically weighs over 100 kilograms. The elephant's gestation period is 22 months, the longest of any land animal. If the elephants are finished and want to go back to the bushes, you better make way. When the whole group is on a move, also the kudus start running away. This is a young female. Kudus also belong to the species of antelopes. Ostriches are also often found only by themselves, while many other animals are seen together at this waterhole. Maybe the impalas jump for joy because there are no elephants. Small banded mongoose and the bigger kudus coming at the same time. This waterhole is called Judop, and for us it was like Little Garden Eden with all these coming and goings. This male kudu has mighty horns. Zebras have excellent eyesight and they are very sensitive to dangers. Even as it is safe now, this small one prefers being close to man. The guinea falls, drinking groups, and don't allow the hectic onyx to disturb them. In the meantime, many impalas came to drink. They seem to be very nervous while the first giraffe is approaching. The impalas don't drink for long. Often, at least one is checking the situation, and even if there's just something small, all are gone. One of the troublemakers is the onyx, but here they are just busy fighting with themselves. Giraffes are considered friendly, maybe here they want to try to prove the opposite. Giraffes are seen frequently. It is a long way down to the water as the giraffe easily is 5 to 6 meters tall. so it looks a bit funny the way they drink. Nevertheless, this was very tasty, so it didn't take long till the place was full of giraffes. Also the onyx don't bother them. Other guests are the warthogs as well as the thirsty wildebeests. They can drink for a while. As they were leaving, we also decided to go. Coming back to the road, we again found a group of elephants. After doing some business, they continued their way to the waterhole. The rhino and the lions had to move aside. First, the rhino was waiting in the background, while the elephants claiming the waterhole for themselves. It seems there's nobody else in the world who counts. While the elephants played together, the rhino decided to leave the scene. Not to risk anything, in the end, the rhino runs away. Soon later, the sun sets over the waterhole. In the night is the next chance for the rhinos to drink. But shocking, an elephant is already there, and he can drink for very long. As he is alone, they dared to drink behind him. But only one at a time, while the other is watching. Soon later they left, not feeling too comfortable. Before the new morning, 2 hyenas also came to drink. A wild dog meet us before sunrise in the grass. This jackal is walking around, looking a little bit disorientated. The early morning light is also perfect to observe the small sunny antelope. Also impalas gazing beside our car before something frightened them that they were jumping away. We went a little bit further to the eating giraffe, but it looks to us like there are only dry branches. This tree looks a little bit better, at least a few green leaves are there. But what's happening here? Oh, are there thorns? Up where the branches are, this eagle has his booty. The lizard buzzard is spotted on another tree. This bird has the funny name Grey Go-Away bird. Beside the special birds, here the large number makes the difference. If thousands of these small birds start at the same time in the morning, they form bands in the sky. As they fly away, we went to our next destination, the Waterberg Plateau in central Namibia. At a campground you need to be very alert in the morning of the monkeys. They take everything away what they can get, even when they have a baby. More pleasant is to listen to the singing hornbill in the morning. Taking some time, we can see how the squirrel comes out of his nest. But if they perceive something, they are gone. Then, after a short moment, it comes out again. everything seems to be safe, it takes a leaf and starts eating. With the time it becomes more courageous. Not so well looks this rock daisy in the cliffs. Like this Sunny jumps away, we jump to our next stop, the Hobart meteorite. This is the largest known in the world with around 60 tons of weight. The surface looks like metal and is a bit slippy. A water point at the Kapwiwis dip in northwest Namibia was our next stop. The children enjoyed the encounter with us and we switched babies for a moment. It seems that this was more an attraction for everyone staying around. At the end, Heidi demonstrates how we use the baby wrap. At our last camp, Janis checked out the sprinkler. As the local people washed in the river, the sun is starting to set and this part of our journey ends.